Okay, I think we can get started. All right, so real quick, thank everybody for pulling up on me tonight. Hopefully everybody had a good trading week. Actually, let me get up between a 1 and a 5 in the chat on the strength of your trading week. If you had a whack week, let me get a 1. If you had a strong week, let me get a 5. Okay, I see 4 from Leah, even though she did a 5. I see 3s, 4s, 5s, 5,000. Let's go. More money. Let's go. 2. Okay, 1. We're gonna work on these. We're gonna work on these 1s and 2s. We're gonna work on these 1s and 2s. Okay. So one thing I urge everybody to do at the end of the week is just go over all your trades, go over your winners and your losers, and kind of redo it in your mind and see, like, you know, how could I have made this trade better? How could I have maximized this trade? How could I have minimized my losses? I'm guilty of not doing it as often as I should, but I think everybody should do it. Spend some time, spend half an hour. You know, this is not just about numbers on a screen. This is your money, you know, and you can turn your money into something really big. You know, me personally, I'm doing it for my family. So, you know, so it's worth taking an extra hour out of your day to go over it. Let me see what's going on. Okay, S Dot's in here. S Dot, can you raise your hand, please? I already peeped more money. I want to see S Dot raise his hand one time for me real quick. So today we are going over our advanced setups on Thinkorswim and Webull. And my boy Mo Money is going to share some information on a MACD indicator with you guys. Again, thank you guys for joining. The main purpose of this is to get everybody off of Robinhood and to get everyone to stop everyone from getting clapped week after week, play after play. We want to turn those 1s and 2s into 5s. Yes, this is recorded, so in case you need to dip out, you'll have access to it. As long as I have your email, you'll have access to it. So I don't have like a disclosure, but I just want everybody to know that this isn't financial advice. Everything that I'm saying here today is strictly for entertainment. I want you guys to, you know, see what other tools are available for you. Obviously, Robinhood is a game changer for a lot of people, and it's introduced you all to the options game. But I want you to see, you know, myself and S Dot and Mo Money want you to see what else is available for you in terms of tools to arm you to make money and to change your lives. Because that's really why we're doing this. So I just wanted to mention that. I have been trading for about 6 months now. I was on Robinhood for a majority of that time. I fully swapped over to Thinkorswim just a couple of months ago. I still have my Robinhood account. But I still will knock it. I'll constantly knock it because Robinhood is robbing the hood right now, and it'll continue to do so. So this is what we're here for. We want to turn everybody into a self-sufficient trader. We want everybody to not only take and make fire call-outs, but get the best entries and find the setups and become producers. You know, that's the whole point of this, is so everybody can become a producer and help others build wealth. I'm just looking at. I have a checklist here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Real quick, every time you enter a trade, there's 3 things that you should have in mind before entering the trade. So that's your entry, that's your cut loss or your stop loss, and your profit target. So now everybody in here, I'm taking a note of everyone's name in here. I don't want to see anybody in the chat asking, when are we taking profits? What are we doing with this trade? I don't want to see none of that. We're gonna ignore that when we see that. And I urge you all to bully your fellow roommates here. Whenever you see that, be like, yo, bro, what's your plan? What is your plan? Did you have a plan? Then why did you enter? You know, I want us to be accountable for the trades that we make. So I promised myself to not take out a bunch of biases today. I'm not going to slander Robinhood. I'm not going to talk badly about any of the other platforms. I just want to show you guys my TOS. So let's do that now. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you all can see. Let's see. Let me know if you can see my screen. Let me get an emoji in the chat if you can see my screen. Okay. Cool. All right, so this is the first screen that you see when you open up Thinkorswim. This is the least interesting screen. I don't think I've ever visited this screen beyond the first time that I actually loaded this up. So let's just get right into it. So everything happens, all the magic happens in charts, right? So this is the first thing that you'll see here. You'll see a chart. Actually, let's get even more basic. Let's get even more basic than this. I'm going to remove everything that I have, right? And I'm going to bring it back to the basics. Okay. So this is the chart. This is AMD's chart, actually. This is AMD's chart for the day. Now, a lot of you guys are used to seeing. Let me move this out of the way. A lot of you are used to seeing on your Robinhood app something that looks like this, right? And even this one here gives you a little bit more information because it shows you like uptrend versus downtrend right on the chart, right? So this is what you see with Robinhood. If you switch over to candlestick view on Robinhood, then you get a little bit more information, but you know, this here is not telling me much. I mean, I can see where the price was at when it was high. I can follow the price based on the numbers I have on the screen over here. And I'm going to go pretty quickly, guys. So if you guys do have any questions, just do me a favor, just write it down. We're going to go through, like, I think the last, like, 30 minutes or 45 minutes of just straight answering questions. I'm just going to get right into it. So I want to change this. I want more information than this. So I'm going to go to this settings cog right here. I'm going to go over to appearance. I'm going to go to chart type. And I'm going to go to bar is good. I like candle. Bar is good. I'm not going to knock bar. Let's just change this to this is, and I'm doing this on my laptop now. So nothing is set up right now. So you guys are getting it live right now. That's fine. Okay. So now you get a little bit more information because now you know that I'm on a 5-minute time frame. In the first minute that market opened, the stock opened at this price. It climbed up. It went down. It climbed up, and in 5 minutes it closed at this price. And the very next the next time frame, the next 5 minutes, it opened here and it climbed up and it went down and it closed here. So right off the jump, you can see that candlestick patterns are a little bit more. They're a little better in terms of providing information. You're a little bit more informed when you're entering trades and exiting trades because you know exactly what the ticker is doing. So there's a bunch of other things like the way that this looks. It looks kind of weird. Webull looks a little bit prettier, I would say. Even Robinhood looks a little bit prettier. But Thinkorswim isn't really worried about pretty. Thinkorswim is worried more about getting you money, right? So and all this stuff you can change. So let's just go through that real quick. If I go to the settings tab right here on my chart. So I like to have my tools right here, this part on each chart. You can do it off or on single panel. I like it on each chart. I'll show you what that is in a second. I like to overlap my volume. If you don't overlap your volume, it looks like this, right? You separate volume, and now you separate your volume, and now it shows up down here. Hold on, let me just check in with the chat real quick. Hang on one second.
Yo, Huey, this is S. Dot. I'll take care of some of the basic answers in the chat, like is it recorded and stuff, so you don't have to worry about some of that chat. And any question, we'll try to tag for later. I'll try to write them down.
That sounds good. I actually see Sinai saying I can't see anything inside the cog, so I'm gonna fix that real quick.
Yeah, I can't either.
Yeah. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hang on. Let me just mess with this. How do I do every advanced? All right, I think this is fine.
Hey, it's Mo Money. Terrence was trying to get in. Did Terrence get in?
I think he's in. I hope he's in because I hit him with the link a few minutes ago. All right, so can you guys see my screen now? Can you see my Thinkorswim now and my Zoom thing up here? Okay, and then let's see if this works. can you see this pop-up window right here? Let me see. Let me go to 2 if you can see the pop-up window. Okay, perfect. All right, bet. That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you, guys. And bear with me. This is I haven't done a presentation on Zoom in I don't think ever. So bear with me. So I'll take it back. So I go to this cog right here on my chart. I'll click here, and now my tools. I like to have my tools on each chart. I'll show you guys what that is in a second. I like to overlap volume. So my volume bars are down here. I like to overlap volume because I have other indicators that I'll place in that area down there. So I like to make better use of my space. So I like to overlap my volume. I don't really have anything in price axis and time axis, but you can definitely customize that to your liking. So I'm gonna go to favorite time frames. So we have the 1 day 1 minute, the 1 day 5 minute, the 1 day 15 minute, the 5 day 5 minute, 5 day 15 minute, 30 minute, hour, 4 hour, day, week. So a lot of people ask what time frame is the best time frame, and the answer is all of them. I have a homie who my boy Bailey, who has this section right here just filled. He got the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, 8 minute, 6 minute, like any random number, 67 minute, because you can see different things based on the time frames. What I would do personally is I would spend time with this and see what works best for you. I'm not gonna go too in depth into this. The reason why you get like 1 day, 5 day 5 minute and 1 day 5 minute, there are some differences in that, and it'll appear to you in certain studies. So I'll mention it. I'll come back to that in a second. If you wanted to add a time frame, you just go here. You could do intraday, 1 day, 30 minute. You could do daily. Every 4 days there's a candlestick, and you can go custom. You can do a range and an aggregated time per candle, right? So you can get really really custom with that. Let me just add these people into the room. Cool. All right. So onto appearance. This is where you can set the way that your chart looks. I'm big into aesthetics, so I spent, this is I think the first stop that I made when I got in here. Red is down, green is up. When you see green, if you're on the call side, you're going long, that you're in, you're printing. And if you see red and you don't like red, then you know that you gotta maybe time to set a stop loss or something. You can change the colors here. They have some basic colors. You can get more granular. For my creatives out there, you can come in and like actually, dive deep into the hex code and the HTML code and stuff like that. Let's see. You could even paint your volume, and this here is dope because when like this was a big bearish bar. This was a big, slightly smaller bearish bar. Now you can see that buyers are starting to step in with the green bar. You see that buyers are coming in with these green bars. When you see like a doji, you see that there's indecision, meaning buyers and sellers kind of reach the consensus for a moment, and that never really happens in the market. So it's I think it's useful to have this selected here, color as symbol ticks. That way what's going on. If some people like this empty black space might not, it might be hard for you to focus. You could throw a grid on there real quick. So it'll help you kind of separate, what's going on. You could make the grid a little lighter in case nobody can see that, right? And that way, like, boom, this is a 15 minute between in this grid right here. So that it lets you customize. And I don't want to spend too much time on it. This I think this is important. So if you go to equities, and you go to show extended hours trading session, you should always have that. If you are doing your DD, your due diligence, you want to come in, pre-market, see what pre-market movement is like, see what the highs and lows of pre-market are, so that like pretty much where your parameters for the trading day are. Whether it's going to be a strong bullish day or strong bearish day, you can tell by having that extra trading session time shown. And then I like to highlight it sometimes so you can just see the difference between regular hours and trading hours. So let me just zoom out real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So like this is 4 p.m. to 8, and then 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. to 9:30. And this is the previous session. This is today's session. I'm going to get this. This is probably going to bother me, so I'm just going to switch this back to how I had it. But yeah, I mean, you can see, like, when you have Robinhood, you'll see like the gap up at 9 o'clock in the morning. You'll see like really where your account is at, and it'll show you on a chart. And then sometimes you have to go to like Yahoo Finance or something to see a little bit more information. Let's see. I got you, Brandon. I got you. Send me a message at the end, please. All right, cool. So what else did I want to go through? All right, so I went through appearance, which is basically the way that this looks. I went through time frames. Every single time frame is important. I wouldn't skip through any time frame. I want to go through this part real quick. So drawing tools are some of the most important things that you can do when you're charting. How do I do this? I forgot how to do this. Let's see. I'll do it on the new setup. All right, boom. So some of the drawing tools that I use, I know that S. Dot uses. I know my boy JCat uses it. I know Mo uses it. I have pointer and pan, which are pretty simple. Pointer will allow me to like do one of these, drag and drop, and then kind of zoom into a play. I'm scrolling left and right now, so you can see how kind of the screen moves. Pan is if I want to like, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm actually gonna go to a different chart. Let's do this chart. By the way, this is my favorite chart. The 180-day 4-hour is my favorite chart. And if you guys, I'm not gonna tell you why, but if you guys spend enough time on it, you'll realize why. So if I wanted to pan, for example, I wanted to go back, I wanted to maintain my same widths, but I wanted to go back in time, I can kind of pan, drag and drop. With trend line, and I'm not gonna go too deep because we're gonna try to save this for another class. If I wanted to see like, maybe I want to see a potential triple top here, and it doesn't have to be a neatest, but that's how you use trend lines to draw your lines, use price levels to see where you need to hit, and it gives you actual numbers on it. You can customize all these lines the way you want. If you want to write a note to yourself, like, above, I think, what is this, AMD above 88.50 is rippy. I know that for a fact. We need volume, and we need volume, and we need conviction for AMD to rip above 88.5, right? So I could just do that. I could set a note for myself. I could drag it around wherever I need to. Yeah. If I want to point out, like sometimes you guys will see me like draw like the points where the price action came to this resistance here, right? Use oval to do that. Let's see. I use fibs a lot. I'm not gonna get into fibs. So I have all my drawing tools set here. By default, they live down here. You see the little oval? You click that, and it shows you your pointer. It shows you your mouse, your pointer, and your pan. You have your trend line, all of the tools that you might want to use here. Price level is, so basically the ones I use are these that you see up here. And sometimes I'll use like a channel, right? I'll use a channel to show me like, hey, I'm in an uptrend right now. If it maintains it, then I'm safe. If it's at the bottom, it might bounce up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to bog you down with too much of that. And if I'm going too fast, guys, forgive me, but you can definitely come back to this at any time. And then anyone knows you can just chop it up with me anytime in DM. I'm open. I'm sure there's people in here who are in here talking to me at market hours. And market hours are the worst times, but I'm sure to get to you guys whenever I can. So real quick, this my tools is the shortcut here, right? So I want to have my tools above each chart. And then, so that'll bring this part here. You want to go to your settings, and you can add or remove buttons. I'm not going to add any more. Actually, I'll just show you what it looks like real quick. So if I go to add button, I go to drawing tool, and then I like fibs. So I'm going to add my fibs, and then I'm going to hit done. And I'm done. This stays on my chart. And this will allow me to move quickly. Although I'm not doing too much charting while the market is in, while market hours are on. I'm doing most of my charting pre-market or after hours or on weekends. I realize that maybe I'm even going even faster than what I should, right? So let's start here. This is where you enter your ticker. I know a lot of people print it on Tesla, so let's see Tesla. Down here, this is where you zoom out and zoom in. I am going to select the pointer. I'm going to click here and drag over, and this is going to become my new screen, right? I'm interested from the breakout, so let's go from here, right? And you can see how much volume and stuff came in. If you wanted some more space up top or down below, you'll click this and drag it down, and you'll get a little bit more space. This here shows you the price that Tesla closed at. So this will always show you the last price. This always shows you the current price, the market price on Tesla, or whatever ticker you have here. Let's see. I have a treat for you guys, but I'll probably save it to the end because I want to get through the basics really quickly. Let's see. S dot. Is there anything that I should address at this moment in the questions before moving on?
So far, you're good. Nobody's really been asking questions yet.
All right, cool. So I'll just go through this part, and then I'll go to the trade tab, and I'll show you how to make a trade, right? So here are your studies. You know, you guys might have heard me, you know, people ask me all the time, what do you use? I use simple moving average. I use VWAP. And you can see I'm just searching it and double clicking it, and it'll add it, right? I use TTM squeeze. And I use stochastic RSI. TTM, if you guys are familiar with MACD, TTM is pretty similar to MACD. It just gives me a little bit of extra information. It works better for me. So as you can see, this says simple moving average, and then they all say 9, right? So you want to come in and edit them. You want to hit this cog right here. I use the 9, the 21. I use the 9, the 21. I'm going to change the color so you can differentiate it. Let's do yellow. And I use the 50. And the reason why I use these isn't important. And as you guys spend time in the platform, you'll realize what kind of works for you and what doesn't. Let's do this color. Let's do this color. All right, so I'm gonna hit apply, and you'll see how drastically my chart changes. So now I have all of this, right, which gives you all kinds of different information. Let me see. I have my TTM, and I have my stochastic. You can adjust these, make them smaller or bigger. I don't need too much real estate on stochastic. I don't need too much real estate on TTM. I like to see charts nice and large, right? Let's say you're content with this set, and you like, you know, you have all your indicators, and you have your studies down here, and you're good, right? You're good to go. You can go over to style, and then you go to save style, and then you want to call it Wealth Squad, right? WS. And now that style is saved. Let's say you want to watch another ticker at the same time. So you click this square box right here. When you're in charts, you come over to the right and you click the square box. Now you can watch 2 charts. You can watch 3 charts. You can watch 9 charts, right? This is giving me anxiety right here. I like to keep it to like 1 or 2 charts. Even 2 charts for me is a little bit too much. But let's say you're looking at Tesla, and you know that NIO runs on sympathy with Tesla, right? So you want to look at NIO. And you can notice that the way that this looks is drastically different from the way that this looks. But I want this to look exactly like this. So what I'll do is I'll go over to my chart settings. Excuse me, I'll go over to my style. I'll go to load style, and then I go to Wealth Squad. Oh, you know what? Good thing. I'm happy that happened. So when you save your style, you want to make sure you include patterns and study set, because otherwise you get this, right? So I'm going to save it. Yes. I'm going to come over here, and now when I load it, you're going to see it pretty much look exactly the way it looks on the left. Yeah. So that's that. I'm going to go into the next section unless anybody has any pressing questions. Otherwise, you know, we're going to address all the questions towards the end. And this is just a basic, right? So charts, you enter the ticker name, you get the prices. Now you got all your drawing tools up here. I'm going to pin this. Let's see. or it probably won't let me do it when two of them are open. That's fine. If I want to watch multiple charts, then I come here and I tell it how many charts I want to watch. Typically, if I'm here, I usually do one. And then here we go. And I'll just pin this so that it's there, right? And it stays there. So now so now you have your charts. The other most important part, I think more important than charts, is your trade tab. So if we're on Tesla, right? So this is the same ticker that we were on before while we were in charts. We quickly go to trade and you choose whatever expiration that you want to get into. I have really bad experience playing Tesla on weeklies. I know some of you guys are masters at it. My boy Chris has printed like 200 percenters consistently for the past 2 weeks. And he sends me a screenshot every day, 100%, 120%, 180%. And I'm like, bro, take this Tesla off my screen, please. So boom, you're in Tesla. You have the underlying section here, which basically shows you what the bid on the actual stock is and what the ask is on the actual stock, right? You can see how much volume is trading during the day, has traded so far during the day, right? So at the beginning of the day, this will be much less. And then if you see this and you know what your average volume is for that ticker, and you do some math in your head based on the time frames, you know whether a lot of volume is coming in or not, right? So that's a little gem there. Let's say I want to get into some January 15 contracts. So I'll come down to January 15, 21. I'll click down here. And now I have my strike prices. And if you guys are on Webull, then you guys are familiar with this already. I have my strike prices here, right? It shows you up to 14 strike prices. You can minimize this if you like playing closer to the money, right? Or if you want to see everything that's available, maybe you want to snipe something. Maybe you want to snipe for a quick 100%er. If you know how to do that, you want to open up to all, go out the money and kind of get some more information. So I'm going to change this real quick. This is the standard layout, the net change bid and ask. I'm going to change this to, I'm going to go to customize. Now, what I like to see and what you should look for in every contract is volume. You should look for open interest. You should look for your theta, and you should look for your delta. This list right here. Actually, I can get rid of this. These here and net change. These here are the ones that are the most important when you're picking your contracts, right? I'm not gonna go into what theta and delta is and what the relationship should be. Looking at this list here, the 600 is the most attractive to me, and the reason why is because of these numbers here, right? Four figures and 5 figures right here, right? That's what we like to see. This bid and ask is a little pricey, right? But that's Tesla. That's what Tesla will do to you. Let's look at TSM. TSM January 15 contracts. So TSM 100 call, and right now TSM is trading at 98.74, right? So 100 is pretty safe. If I'm feeling risky, maybe I'll go for this one here, right? I like the open interest on it. The volume is okay. The volume will pick up as the day approaches, right? And TSM, people don't really trade TSM. You can tell by the volume. So let's say I'm on TSM and I see something I like, right? I see something I like on a daily chart. Maybe I see like like it failed here, right? It failed. Hold on, let me zoom up. Let me make this a little clearer so you guys can see what's going on. So yeah, and I'm actually gonna clear all this other stuff out. Yo, Leah keeps getting kicked out of the room. I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm actually gonna get rid of my studies too, just so you guys can see the candlesticks. Get rid of this. I'm just gonna get rid of them. I'll leave VWAP and TTN and all that stuff. All right, so for example, like this is a nice chart to me, right? Because it gapped up right here. It didn't come back down to fill the gap entirely. All these red candles, and it didn't come all the way down. It's holding that support, right? So I'll click this little hand right here. I'll go to price level, and I'll just draw a line right here, and I'll know that that's my strong support. There's other tools that I can look at that'll show me whether or not, how strong of a support that is. And then you can see that it's coming back to retrace to try to retest that high, right? So I'm probably gonna look at TSM on Monday, see what it's doing. So let's say I'm on a 5 minute and I want to enter a trade, right? I'm on a 5 minute and I want to enter a trade, right? So I go over to trade. I make sure I'm in the trade tab. I like this contract here. So I don't know if you guys can see, but where that little display box that shows over my mouse, on this side it says buy, and on this side it says sell. So since I want to buy to open, I'll click this buy right here, boom, and I get this order entry tool. I don't need this bottom one right now. I just need this. As you can see, this is a simulation. This is not a real trade. This is what a paper account looks like, right? And this is how you get your practice. This is how you get your practice specifically using the platform, right? So you practice with paper trading so you can get familiar with the platform. You know, when you see a fire call out, it doesn't matter if you have buying power in your account because you can come in here and just practice real quick, right? So this gives you all the information you need. It's a single, the spread is a single, right? I'm not gonna get too complicated with this part. It's a buy, right? If I were to sell it, if I were to close the order, then you would see, where am I? You would see sell, right? You would see sell right here. But since I'm buying, it's a buy. This is the number of contracts. You know, this 100% is the amount of, is 100% of cash that you have. So you could set it based on a percentage of cash. So like if you have a cash account in Thinkorswim and you have $1,000 and you want to use $200 per trade, then you can set this to 20%. So now I'll use 20% of my total available cash for this trade. However many contracts I can get for that amount of money, it'll fill, right? You click it again and it shows you just a dollar amount, right? So I could do it like this too. I could type in 200 here per trade and boom, I got 200. I like to do it by position, by quantity. So let's say 3 contracts. Let's say 3 contracts, right? It shows you, it confirms the symbol that you're looking at. It confirms the expiration that you're looking at. It confirms the strike price and then the type of option, whether a call or a put. So as you guys see, and I didn't touch on it, but calls are on this side and puts are on this side. TSM is trading at 98. So everything above here is in the money, right? All these calls are in the money. And anything above 100 going down to, 135, these are all in the money on the put side, right? So yeah, it's a call. If I wanted to switch, I can go to put, but it's better if I just click it on this side, right? So it's a call. It's a January 15th, 120 call for TSM, and I'm buying 3 contracts. So now the ask on this is 75, but let's say I want to get it. Let's say I want to pay 70 for it, right? I can set my limit price down to 70, and it won't fill the order until the ask reaches 70, right? So now you're getting a better entry than just buying at market or just buying on Robinhood, right? Because you have a choice, and you can do this on Robinhood as well. I think Robinhood's data is a little bit slower, but I mean, this is more powerful to me. But let's say you don't have time. Let's say it's forming a setup that you like and you want to enter immediately. You go to market. Boom. Now it's going to get you in that market price, whatever the market price is for that, right? As you can see, it would be useful to have 2 screens while you're entering your trade in the trade tab. But here's one thing I want to show you real quick. If you go to this little pin right here, you can pin that down and then you go over to your chart. And now you have your chart and you have your trade to enter right here, right? So now you can just wait for the setup to come to you. And then when you're ready to go, when you're ready to set the order, you hit confirm and send. And then you hit send, right? If you want to auto send, like if you like to jump the gun, like I do sometimes, you can hold the shift button, right? Hold the shift button and just hit confirm and send. I guess I have it disabled. Yeah. So then you hit send. Boom. Now my order's in the book. And that's it. It'll fill me once the price of that contract reaches 0.7 on the ask side. If I wanted to cancel my contract, I come here, boom, cancel it. It's done. It's out of here. Let me check the waiting room real quick. And guys, I know I'm going a little fast. I just want to touch on every point real quick so that everybody knows, so everybody can come back and revisit this video and kind of take it little by little. Yes, I love you guys asking about Active Trader because I was about to go there next, right? So Active Trader is the way that I like to trade. This is cool, right? Like if you click buy, whatever, you click buy here. This is cool if you pin it and then you have it, you have your chart, right? So this is nice. But I personally like to have a little bit more action, right? So what I do is, here's my setup. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to go to flexible grid. I'm going to go over these 9 dots on this corner right here. I'm going to customize grid. And I'm just going to show you how mine is, right? You guys can do this any way you want. I'm going to get rid of these charts down here. I'm going to add one to the side, right? You can add one to the bottom or one to the side. I'm going to add one to the side. And that's it. I'm going to go back to these dots here. I'm going to unclick customize grid. So now let's say, let me see. Let me get some engagement. Somebody throw a ticker out there real quick. Somebody throw a ticker out there real quick. I don't have the chat. Oh, actually, hold on. I do. Never mind. Okay. I see Palantir. Palantir was the first one I saw. So let's do Palantir. Thank you, S. If you guys took the Palantir trade yesterday, I think it was, or 2 days ago, then you printed on today's gap up. And if you took the put, then you printed on today's gap down, right? So this is Palantir. I'm gonna quickly load my style set that I saved from the other chart setup, right? I'm gonna go into the let's do the hour. Let's do the 20-day 1 hour. So let's say, and this is like real cheat code. And anyone who hasn't swapped over to TOS or Webull, this is probably a major reason why you should. So I'm gonna go to my trade tab, right? I'm on Palantir. Let's say I want to get into, for example, on the call side, right? Which I wouldn't advise today, but on the call side, the 30 call expiring January 15th, right? I like the numbers, so I'm gonna jump in on this contract. So what I want to do is I want to copy it. I want to right click it. I want to copy it. I want to go over to my charts and I want to paste it, right? This here, what you're seeing is the chart for the actual contract itself, okay? This is the contract. This is the ticker. This is the contract. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. So you can see that if you would have bought this on Tuesday, you could have got this contract for $2.43 or $2.41 at the low. And you could have sold it this morning for $9.86 at a premium. And it's very visual. It shows you everything right here, right? But I don't want to get you caught up in this part. What I really want to show you is this. I'm going to click active trader. I'm going to unclick chart. And now I have this screen here. So what you're seeing here is the current market price on the contract. You're seeing how many orders are trying to buy this particular contract, right? You can see how much volume is at each price level. So like a lot of people bought it here, right? 593, I think, 1,000 people bought it here at 580. Right now it's at 560. So if you get it at 560, you're in a much better position than they are, right? They're holding a little bit of a bag right now, right? They're down like 5% or something. You're in a much better position than them by buying it here. So the information that you see here is valuable, right? This is where people are willing to sell this contract. So a lot of people are willing to sell at 580. Some people are willing to sell at 590. There's one big ass order for $6, right? Excuse me. The reason why active trader is so powerful is because, let's say you want to get into 3 contracts. Let's say you see a setup you like. You want to get into 3 contracts, right? So you come down here and click 3, right? Or 5, right? Let's say you want to do 5. And then you come and you set the limit price. You set the price that you want. Let's go back to my, actually, no, this is fine. So for AMD, I changed the limit price down here, right? I changed my limit price down here. I can just click here and boom, that's my limit price. My limit price is now $490. That's what I'm willing to pay for that contract. So, you know, when you get a little bit of a sell-off and the contract price comes down and reaches $490, you're gonna get filled, right? When market reaches $490 and somebody's willing to sell it at that price as well, you're gonna get filled. So if you ever notice at the beginning of market open, the first like 15 minutes are really crazy volatile. The reason for that is because that's when all the algos are trading. I'm gonna get to that, Jeff. Thank you for that. That's when all the algos are trading, right? So you'll see if you watch this is what's called a price ladder. If you watch a price ladder, you'll see something like this jump up and then come down and up and down. And like if you try to enter in that time, unless you can get a sniper entry, right? Unless you can get something filled, and I'm just gonna drag it down, right? And you're right. I'm gonna turn on my auto send. You know, you see it jumping up and down. You might get lucky and get a fill down here, and then if you want, you can sell a market order immediately. So now I have my. It's not gonna do it because I don't own it, right? But you have your 5. It's filled, right? Now you're in the contract, and then once you have it, you can sell, and you sell by clicking, clicking there, or whatever. I wish there was on demand. S dot. Do you know if there's on demand while you're in paper money?
I'm not sure. I don't really use on demand. I really should though.
Got it. Okay. You want to explain to them what on demand is real quick?
On demand is you can just kind of go back in time and play through the stock market, whatever it did, and you can kind of choose a tight time frame, and you can trade it and kind of see what would have happened on something you were thinking about playing, pretty much.
Yeah. So like if you made a play that you regret, you can go back and play it again, right? Or if you're interested in playing the COVID crash of earlier this year, right? Riding the puts on the way down, you can play that as well. You can just go back to that time frame and just play it. So on demand is cool because it lets you, it allows you to back test a lot of stuff too. S. Dot posted something in Wealth Squad the other day about a 3:20 reversal, 3:20 p.m. reversal, and so what I did was that day I fired up my on demand. I'm like, oh, okay, I see it, and I see it here, and I see it here, and it's pretty consistent. So kudos to you for that, bro. And yeah, on demand lets you go back in time pretty much. I think as long as I think 100 years, it lets you go back like deep. So that's that. So you guys saw me open up this tab here. You can customize what these buttons look like. I like buy and sell market for speed, but some people like other ones. For example, buy the ask or buy the bid, sell the ask, sell the bid, right? People like that. So sell market. I have my button there. I added flatten, which gets you out of your position ASAP, right? It might not get you the best price, but it gets you out fast. And then I have working orders is like if I have, for example, I'll show you what working orders is, and then I'll show you position indicator. Working orders, position indicator, right? So now I'll place this in the system. Boom. Now I have a working order for 5 to buy. Now I know real quick as I glance at this contract, and I can see it on the tickers chart as well. I see that I have an order for 5 at a limit price. And then I come back to my active trade. I see the limit price is 490. Once it's filled, this will turn into this, and you'll see the position, and you'll see +5. And then real quick, I'm gonna go to customize on this little cog right here. And I hope this video is concise for anyone who wants to run it back. And I know I talk a little fast, so you might want to run it back at like 0.75x or something. I'm gonna go to PL Open. I can get rid of volume because I'm fine with that, but that's a nice piece of information. But I'm gonna go to PL Open, and I wish I can show you what it looked like. But let's say I got filled right here at this price, 520 and let's do 5 contracts at 520, and now the current price is for the contract is 560. So that's $40 per contract that I'm up. $40 times 5 is 200. Over here on this P&L open, and I wish I could show you. I should have thought this through a little bit more. But when you go into your TOS and you go to on demand, you'll see it. Here it'll show 0, and then at this 530, it'll show 50 because the premium is up 10 cents per every 5 contracts. So 10 times 5 is 50. At the current price, it'll show you, and this will all be green. At the current price, it'll show you 200, and that's the amount of money that you're up on that particular play. So you can see how much exact money you're up on a particular play here. Obviously, if it crosses below whatever you paid for it, then that's how much it'll show you how much you're down, which is nice because it'll show you pretty much, like, let's say you want to take a play and you're like, I'm willing to lose $100 on this trade. So you go to where you go down to where it says negative 100. It'll be here. It'll be here, right? And then you click stop, sell 5 stop, and that'll be your stop loss. So you have a visual representation of what your profit target is, right? Let's say I want to make 500. Let's say I want to make 250. I'll have my stop right here, my limit, my sell limit right here, and I'll have my stop loss over here. And now I know if it comes down and hits my stop loss, it kicks me out. If it goes up to my profit target, it kicks me out. And I'll see on this side here how much exactly it'll be. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Maybe by email, I'll simulate a trade and I'll show you guys what it looks like. But I can't do it now without switching over. But yeah, this is, I use this religiously. I know that SDOT uses it religiously. I know that there's plenty of people who are on Webull who have price ladder. I like this because this is much faster and it gives you better entries and exits than watching the premiums. Watching the premiums over here. You have to find your contract, right? Like it has a buy, so I know that it's this one, and then you got to see what it's trading at here, right? Having my price right here and my P&L right here is, to me, it's much more efficient. So yeah, I mean that's what I have. Let me see. I know there's something else I wanted to cover on this part. Okay, so real quick, if anyone wants to set up a watch list, let me add this person to the room. All right, so I just click this little triangle right here, right? And now I have my watch list. I have my news. You guys know I'm big on news. So I have my live news here. You just click it, it shows exactly what's going on. Anything that might affect this ticker will show up here, and it shows you the date and time. And once you're in the day, it shows you like it came in at 10:30, this came in at 1 o'clock. So this is really efficient here. But then you notice this says Twitter, and this is Palantir, right? So what I'll do is I'll link this symbol link. I'll link it to this chart. So I'll go to this link button. I see that this is number 2 and it's yellow. So I'll go to 2 yellow. Boom. Everything that has to do with Palantir will show up here. They say I change this to AMD. Now everything that has to do with AMD shows up here, right? I'll do you one even better. I'll go down to this watch list, right? And you can select a bunch of different watch lists, right? Personal, these are my personal watch lists. I'll go to my paper watch list and I'll change this to 1. So now, I'll change it to 2, right? So you see these are all linked here, right? So if I go to Apple, boom, I got news on Apple. I have my Apple chart and that's it, right? If I want to quickly browse through my watch list, you'll see me in the morning saying, this is doing this, this is doing this, this is doing that. I'm not entering plays. I'm just watching. I'm just looking for patterns. I'm looking for my setup, right? Yeah. I mean, this definitely will take a while to get through, but you have to go through it. I mean, it took me maybe 2 hours on a Sunday, just like going through little by little, just to make sure that I have a grasp of it. And you don't have to understand everything that you see. You just have to go through little by little and say, you know what? I need this watch list. Maybe I don't need news, right? Maybe I don't need this quick SPY chart to have on reference here. Like you'll realize what you need and what you don't need, right? So it's super powerful. And I know that like what you see on this screen here is a lot compared to what you see on your Robinhood screen. But I personally hate being on Robinhood, having to click, and I'm gonna do it live right now, right? I'm gonna open my Robinhood app. I'm going to go to the search tab. I'm going to type in a ticker, right? So let's do AMD. I click AMD. I go to trade. I go to trade options, right? I go to the date. I got December 31st? Nah. January 8th? Nah. January 15th? Bet. Say less, right? Now I got to scroll up and down. Let me pick let's do a 95 call, right? For January 15th. I have to click it. Then I have to click the limit price to see what the volume and the open interest is and what the IV is, right? For me, it's more efficient to have it here. I can see all that stuff right here, right? If I go to AMD, oh, hold on, I got a link. Let's link, boom, right? I go to AMD, I go to the Jan 1521, right here. And then I go to my 95 call and I see everything right here. Maybe the 100 call is better because it has a higher open interest and it's a little bit cheaper, right? maybe I want to play something that's closer. I can just quickly go here and go down to see, I can see, you see where my mouse goes. It goes immediately to the highest numbers, right? You see, like, and it's all on one screen. You don't got to fumble around with it. You can just quickly, this is a terrible one, but you can quickly copy it, go into your charts, paste it, and now you're ready for AMD on the call side, 97 call, and you know what? I'll show you guys even better. One neat trick that I know S Dot's waiting to show you guys this, but I'm gonna get to it before he does. Let me see. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, TOS on iPad is good. It's not bad. TOS on iPad is good for charting. Do your charting there. Like S Dot said, the more you mess with it, the easier it gets. Obviously, it's intimidating. I mean, it's a lot of information. The screen, I'm looking at the screen, and like if I were you guys and I've never seen this before, I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at, right? Where's the IVT located in TOS? This is pretty similar to Webull. I don't know. There's certain features that I don't know if they cross over in Webull. So if I'm on the trade tab, I click layout, I go to customize, and I want to add implied volatility. So I'll just double click it, boom, add it to my current set. And now it's there. So you have your IV right here, right? You have your IV right here. You have your bid and ask. You have your delta and your theta. And you have your volume and open interest. In terms of the question about open interest, that's something that we could chop up later on. I don't want to get too crazy about it. I do not use time and sales. I have a friend who uses level 2, which is really useful in determining what will happen at that particular level, right? If there's a big ass sell order, then you know that it's going to be hard to break through that level, right? Let's see.
So Huey, we got a question, and they sent me a screenshot actually. They do not have the tabs on the top bar that say monitor, trade, analyze, scan. Do you know anything about that? I've never come across that issue.
I have not. However, I don't know. I haven't. Let's see. Maybe it's no, it wouldn't be here. Would it be here? I don't know. Honestly, I've never seen that.
No, I think that might be something they might have to contact.
Yeah, I've never seen that. What I would do is I would uninstall and reinstall the app and see if maybe it'll fix it. Like I've never touched these. These are by default.
Yeah, I was trying to explain the same thing.
Yeah, I've never seen settings for that. Like, sorry, man. I wish or lady or gentleman, I wish I had the answer to that. All right, so I'm gonna just jump into this last part. I think I have like 1 or 2 more pieces, and then I'm gonna hand it over to S Dot. Let's see. Okay. The monitor tab is where you can see what plays you're in, see how much you spent, see what effect it has on your buying power, right? So this decreased my buying power by 2,600. It shows you available, right? Available dollars is the amount of money that I have to trade with. This information here, the cash and sweep vehicle and available dollars, you can also see when you click over here, account info. You see option buying power, the amount of money that I have to buy more options, right? More plays. Cash and sweep is the amount of money that I have not only available, but in current positions. And then over here, you'll see if I click, so I'm in my positions. If I click the little arrow there, it'll show me stock and option. And this is a new view that I'm messing with right now. So bear with me. It'll show me the days to expiration on this option contract. It'll show me the strike. It'll show me the contract, the strike price. The amount of shares per contract, which we know is 100, the strike price, the expiration, the market value of it, the change in market value of it, and then the P&L open, which you can easily see over here, right, on this tab, once it becomes available, once you're in a trade. And I'll share a screenshot with you guys of an active trade, so you can see what it is to actually enter a trade, see how much you make, and exit the trade. All on Active Trader. I know a lot of people use this. They use this thing to enter their orders. I've never, I've used it a couple of times for more advanced things, right? Like setting a stop, right? Or setting a trail stop, right? Which this is powerful, right? Trail stop is powerful. I don't want to get into it too much now. We can do it on another call, but a lot of people use that, but I think it's more simple. I personally find it more simple to go into your trade tab, you know, in your charts, excuse me, go into your active trader and just see everything here, get in and out here, you know, buy on this side, boom, sell on this side, and that's it, and you're done. You don't got to mess around. You don't got to select. You don't got to enter any numbers. Everything is laid out right here in front of you, right? I just want to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to hand it over. And I know that this isn't as clear as, you know, this isn't as clear as Robinhood is when it comes to each position and how much money you made and how much percentage you're up. But if you download the TD Ameritrade app, right? So not the Thinkorswim app, but the TD Ameritrade app on your phone, it'll show you your percentages. It'll show you how much you made. It'll show you like a line graph of like what your positions are in total. You know, it'll show you some advanced stuff like option expiration and delta and theta and IV and all that stuff. And it's highly customizable. So I use that to see how much percentage I'm up while I'm using my Thinkorswim trading platform to actually do the trades, right? I monitor on my phone and I execute on the laptop. So the last thing I'll show you real quick is let's say I'm watching, let's do this, right? Just go down here. So you can have multiple watch lists, right? I'm gonna change over to a different watch list. I'm actually gonna create one. So I click this thing right here, and I'm gonna go to create watch list, and I'm gonna call this one contracts, right? And now I'm gonna save that. I have to add something. So let's do an AMD January 15. Let's do a 95 call, or let's do the 100 call because the 100 call is more powerful, right? So, and you guys saw how I typed that up. You'll get used to that. You spend a couple of days in TOS, you know, and you'll get used to how I did that. Oh, it already exists. Okay, so let's do contracts 2. Boom. So I'm in contracts 2, right? Let's say I'm interested in doing. Somebody said, let's get another ticker real quick. The first one I see. Workhorse. All right, so boom, workhorse. Let's say I want to get into a workhorse play. So I type in workhorse, right? Do I have it on my watch list? No, it's not on my watch list here, right? Let's say I wanted to add it. I'm gonna click there and add workhorse. Now it's there, right? Now it's there. I'll go to my trade tab and somebody pick a date. Pick a date and pick a strike. And don't think about it too much. Okay, 115 and 35. Okay, bet. Thank you, Rick. So I'm in the one. So I go to 115, right? And I go to my 35 call. And the 35 call is pretty decent because it has good open interest, has decent volume. $42 up for every dollar, and the theta is only -6, right? And it's a decent price, and it has a fairly tight bid-ask spread, right? So let's say I want to add this to my contracts watch list, right? So I right click it and add it to watch list. I go down to add to watch list. I go to contracts. Boom. All right, somebody give me another ticker. Snap. All right, so give me a snap. Give me an expiration and give me a call or put and give me a strike pricing. 48 strike January 15th. Cool. So I'm in January 15th already. I'll go down to my 48. I'll go to my 48, right? And I'll right click it and I'll add to watch list. So you guys see what's going on. Somebody said Disney. So let's do Disney, Jan 15. And let's do this one, the 160. So I'll right click it and I'll add to watch list. Boom. So now you see them populating on my watch list here, right? Let's see. Let's add, make sure everything's in the room. All right, cool. And now I'm ready, right? I'm ready. Because now I have my tickers, right? I got my tickers. I think Snap is already on this list. So I'm just going to drag it down. And AMD. Boom. So I have these 4 contracts and these 4 tickers, right? So now you're on a call and you hear, oh, there's a 3-bar play forming on AMD on a 15-minute time frame. So you go to AMD, right? Let me just admit this person. My bad, guys. Yeah, so you go to AMD and you switch over to the 15-minute time frame, and you see, you know, there's a possible 3-bar. Obviously, there's no 3-bar here, but this could have been a 3-bar right here, right? But and you see what they're seeing, and you're like, all right, cool. I'm on AMD. I'm on the ticker. Let me load up the contract. Boom. Now the contract is in your. So I have this as green 4. So you want to link this to green 4. Make sure that you're extra speedy. I would have got clapped just now because I was taking too long, so I would have got clapped because I didn't have my stuff linked. So I'm in the ticker, and I'm in the contract, right? I'm gonna minimize this. Now I have all this space to see what the stock is doing, and I can see where it's trading at. So now you see, if you ever see me say like possible 3-bar play, get in at the break of 85, or get in the break of 88, right? Clean break of 88. So maybe you come in here with a price level, and you set your level to 88. Some of you are visual like me, right? So you set your level to 88. Now when you see this thing bust through this line, maybe you can just buy a market, right? And you buy a market and you hold it for, maybe you're scalping, you hold it for 3 candlesticks, and then you sell that market and you made 50% on 3 candlesticks, right? That's how this works. That's how my setup is. I get to see exactly what's going on because I'm big on charts, and I have my contract already preloaded, and you already know. You pull the trigger, you know, the faster you pull the trigger, the better entry you get in. Let's say you want to switch really quick to workhorse. You just click workhorse here, click workhorse here. Boom, now you're in workhorse. Now you're ready to go. I personally trade with, I'm on my laptop now, but I trade with a larger screen. So I'll typically have all 3 of these spaces open, you know, this, and this. But if you don't have too much space, you can obviously minimize. If you have second monitors, and you can always, you can click on that section, you can click this little hamburger menu and detach gadget. And now this can live wherever you need it to. And obviously it's still linked, so it still applies, right? Same thing here, right? So now I'm fully equipped because I have my quick chart on SPY, I have my contracts, and I have my tickers here, and then I have my trade tab, my active trader, and I have my chart here. So now I'm ready to trade. I don't need anything else, right? I'm gonna get to the chat real quick to see if there's any questions, and if there's not, then I'm gonna hand it over. Thank you. Yeah, I think it is a dope setup, because you get to see all of the information that's available to you at one time. You don't gotta go from imagine like going from the chart to going into the contract. No, this is a shitty contract. Let me go to another one. I don't like this one. Let's go to another one. You know, Leah said F-cell 10. Let's do F-cell real quick. Let's look at F-cell on the 4-hour. Right. I like this little setup that F-cell is doing right now. And then since I know, she gave me all the information that I need there. F-cell 10 call 121 2022, right? So I'm gonna do dot F-cell 2101 21, right? Call for 10 bucks. Well, that probably doesn't exist, Leah. Thank you for setting me up for sabotage. Yeah, we only have Jan 21, so let's do Jan 21. Why did I say 180-day 4-hour is my favorite? That is something that you're gonna have to discover yourself. That's something you're gonna have to discover yourself. If you ever heard us talking about it, I know Mo and I have spoken about it. I know that Esther has spoken about it. I know JCat has spoken about it. You know, so F-cell. I got F-cell on my 4-hour, and I got my Jan 21 contract. Boom, loaded. The 4-hour to me shows, it gives you like a broader overview of what the market's doing. I'm gonna stop sharing. To me, it gives you a broader overview of what the market's doing. And then you know, there's 8 trading hours in the day. So you get the first candles the first half of the day, and the second candle the second half of the day. And there are a million things that show up on 4-hour setups. For example, you know, 3-bar plays show up way more prominently on that 4-hour than it does anywhere else. Weekly's strong, man. I mean, every time frame, right? I use the weekly to, you know, I found a 3-bar play on Snap on a weekly. We found a 3-bar play on Neo on a weekly. If you look at FSR, I called it out on Wednesday. FSR on the weekly is in the middle of a 3-bar play right now. What else? Twitter on a 3-bar, Twitter on a weekly, pins on a weekly. I look at everything on weekly. I look at it on daily, and I look at it on 4-hour. And then like those are that's how I find my setups, right? What I like to play. And then I go into the 15-minute and the 5-minute and the 1-minute for entry. You want to enter as support, and you want to make sure that you get the best entry possible. I personally don't scalp. I've been getting my ass kicked scalping. And the reason why is because, I give attention to different things. When it was just me and like a team in my ear, I can scalp. But, I'm in the chat and I want to make sure that everybody's eating, not just me, right? So to me, it's more gratifying to say, hey, look at this. If you're interested in this play, here's your entry. If you're interested in this, look for this, right? This became second nature to me after TOS, after spending maybe 2 weeks in TOS, right? Alma, I know Alma told me, she's one of the people that told me that she is going to paper trade, I think 100 times before she executes with real money. Yeah, she's up 30. She says, I'm about 30 trades in my paper account. She's up 40,000 so far since last Wednesday. So she's getting a groove, and I can tell you that Alma knows how to move in Thinkorswim. Thank you for taking the time to walk through. We'll definitely spend time this week exploring it. Yeah, you should, Nicole. Open it up. You can load up a paper account, or you can open up load up a regular account and do OnDemand, and then you can go back and trade, in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, since and especially you're already on TD, so you're good, right? Yeah. Robinhood has your plays. Robinhood has your money too, and Robinhood has no customer service, right? They have no email. They have your money in their pockets, right? So I urge everybody to get off Robinhood. I know there's some people in here who aren't gonna be watching charts all day, and I enjoy it, but I know that the shit is boring for some people. So look, Jose has all his Tesla in Robinhood. I mean, you leave it there, bro. If your shares are there, then leave it there. I have all my shares in Robinhood too, because I can just quickly open up my phone, and I have a widget on my iPhone, and I can see exactly what my shares are doing, right? But I trade options in Thinkorswim, and Thinkorswim, you can have multiple accounts. So like I have an account that I have for my daughter. I have my account for trading day by day, and I have long-term accounts. And look, Jeff said, TD, answer my email Saturday at 7 a.m. So Jeff woke up, had his coffee, and got his question answered by TD Ameritrade. You send Robinhood an email, and you might get blocked, right? You send Webull an email. Webull has one customer service guy who is like always working off of a beach somewhere. So like, good luck getting answered. Yeah, this is super helpful. Going to put money in TOS, and even if you're not ready to put money right away, like go paper and make the same plays that you would in your Robinhood account. Make them on TOS in your paper account, and see how much faster you move, right? So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go grab a beer, and I'm gonna hand it over to S. Dot, who has an advanced trading setup for you guys. This guy, I trust him. I trust everything that he says. S. Dot, where the hell are you? Oh, here you are.
I'm here. I'm ready.
I trust him, and he's very smart, very sharp individual, always willing to help. So I'm gonna let him take it over now.
Hi, everyone. Like you said, I'm S. Dot. A little bit about me. I've been trading commons for about 10 years now. And right after the COVID low, I decided to jump into options. And I just have been absorbing everything options-wise that I can. And I've been privileged enough for Huey to let me come on here and just share some stuff that I got. So what I'm going to go over is my Thinkorswim setup. Actually, when I pull it up, it's going to look a lot like Huey's. I've never saw his setup before, but looking at it, I'm like, all right, now I see why we jive. Everything looks exactly the same. And then I'll go over a quick Webull setup too, because I know there's some people in here wondering about Webull. I personally tell people to start on Webull because Thinkorswim is super intimidating to start. And if you've never charted it, Webull is just a little bit easier and mainstream. So I'm going to start setting up my screen share here. All right, I think that should work. All right, so this is my Thinkorswim setup. As you can see, it almost looks identical to Huey's. So I have my active trader over here, and really there's only a couple things I'm going to add because Huey just did a killer job on covering everything. So I have my quick chart. I like to scalp a lot, so I keep the SPY up here. I scalp SPY a lot. But everything's pretty much the same, so I won't go into the watch list or anything. I'll collapse this off. So when I am trading though, I always have more than one screen. So this is how I'm watching my main tickers that I kind of research pre-market, and this would go on a completely other screen. And the way that you make this happen is you would go to charts, just like Huey was showing us before, and I made 6 charts because that's about as much as I can watch at one time. And then you just throw in each ticker and make sure you unlink right here, because you don't want like to try to pull up your active trader and then it's just grabbing a stock that's already sitting linked. That was one of the issues I had in the beginning. So going back to my main setup in the flexible grid. So I have the active trader as well. And one thing I do is each one of my active traders is linked to a certain color, just kind of like Huey was showing on the watch list. So when I'm going to trade it real fast, I go to trade and I just right click and I send to my colors. I know where my colors are in there. So like, let's put that in purple and that'll be the top one. And then I'll get back to my charts. Hold on, let me move this thing out of my way. And I'll go back to my charts and boom, there it is. And then just like Huey said, you can see where the price is moving. Let's close at $3, this particular one. And then I have, this is my laptop, so it's not set up how it normally is, but I have each one set up for a different amount of contracts that I like to buy. So it kind of plays into my risk. So if I'm pretty certain about it, I'm usually throwing it into my number 5 here. And then also when I scalp, I like to get in and out. And let's see, you can change it with brackets. So right here, what brackets can do is you can set your limit for it to sell, but also your stop loss at the same time. And you can do it in percentages, in whole dollar values, or ticks. Since we're trading mostly equities, you should stay away from ticks. So usually what mine would be is like 30% on the sell limit, and I normally set like a 50% stop loss. And here you can change it to a trail stop too if you want. That's just a little more advanced when you get into selling contracts on the active trader. But pretty much everything else on my active trader is the same as Huey's. So yeah, let's get into Webull. All right, so I got on Webull today and they changed their whole setup, which I'd like to see because they give you a lot more information. So when you first open it up, this is what it's going to look like. It gives you a very generic setup, your chart here, your watch list. And to get rid of these, you can kind of minimize right here and make it smaller so it can fit your whole chart in here. And then stretch it out. So now where Huey went over lines and charting and stuff, so here's your drawings, and it gives you a quick for trend lines and parallels and your text box, just like Thinkorswim. And then your indicators are all here too to add in your moving average, Bollinger Bands. And then here is where you would go to add some of the more in-depth ones like VWAP we can throw up there. RSI, I know a lot of you guys use RSI. And then we got Mo here, so let's throw MACD up there. If I can find it. There it is. All right. So this would be your easy setup for the most part. And like I said, you have drawings. You can do your different trend lines. You can do extended one, which would just be a straight line for whatever you need it. And then you have just your spot trends that you can do as well. So you find a point, take it to another point. So that's your basic easy charting. Like I said, I recommend this for everybody for learning the chart. Again, to Huey's point, I chart everything out of the 4-hour. And that is just my preference. I'll rarely send a chart to you guys that my lines aren't based out of the 4-hour time frame. I feel like I see all the moves clearer there. And So, but really charts are supposed to work on any time frame. If you find support and resistance in that time frame, it should still work. Now, getting into Webull a little bit more, you can actually create your own setup similar to Thinkorswim now. So you hit this little paint roller, and now you're into the customization. So of course you're going to want a chart, right? You want options because a lot of us are trading options. If you want to follow order flow, you can. I'm like Huey, I don't use order flow too much, so I might actually leave that one off. They actually have a quick trader, active trader type thing as well now, which I can't get too into because they didn't have it when I was trading on Webull. I got out of Webull probably 3 months ago and switched completely over to Thinkorswim. I'm one of the lucky few that never had to deal with Robinhood. I went to Webull first and then to Thinkorswim and never looked back. So again, you can do the same thing. You can put your screener up here. They're very limited compared to Thinkorswim for screeners. It's kind of based on market cap. And then here's some just basic ones that were already in there. If you are going to use Webull, I think one of their best things is their pre-market information on gap ups and volume coming in here on this market page. We'll go back to that though. So anyway, back to our setup. Index charts maybe, and top gainers and losers. So now you can kind of configure this however you'd like. It'll probably end up being a lot like the setup they had before. Sorry, should have just had this set up already. Oh well, we'll get out of it. So the other things that we have here, you have watch lists. You can set as many watch lists as you want. These are all my watch lists from before. So I had one that was like stuff that I owned or I really needed to play that day. Monday morning, because I would spend a lot of time on the weekends charting and going through stuff. So I would always put stuff in here that I wanted to look at. Radar, and you can go through and set these watch lists however you'd like. Again, it's not as in-depth. You can't watch contracts like on Thinkorswim. Then this is where you would see your chart. Here's overall view of markets. Like I said, you can see the top gainers, top losers, 52-week highs, hot stocks they have. And then Huey likes to talk about the FinViz hot zones. This automatically gives them to you here to look at. So that tells you what stock was hot today or not and their market cap. And then you can go through and actually see particular industries. And then here is that screener that you can kind of go through and filter out things that you want. Again, to me, it's not nearly as in-depth on as you can get on Thinkorswim. And then here's your customized one. I'm sorry, my screen is all messed up because of the Zoom call, so I can't reach some of this stuff. And then your account will come up, but you have to enter your thing, and you'll notice right away that I don't have any money in this anymore, if I can remember my account number.
You cashed out and sent.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got $1.79 in there, see? But it's a much better dashboard for a quick look of stuff than Thinkorswim. But like Huey said, you can get on TD Ameritrade and it gives you a better look overall. And then they also have paper trading, but they don't allow you to paper trade options, I don't believe, unless they changed that in the past 2 months. So you would just click on one of them and now you're into paper trade. And there's my one stock that I have. And that is a quick overview. I think overall Webull's pretty simple. It's user intuitive. Everything's right at the top for you. If you want to trade options, you just click on options and there's your options contracts. If you want to look at the news for that particular stock, here's your news for the stock. Financials even. I mean, it's kind of all right in front of you for you to figure out. Your time frames are on the bottom here. And for the most part, I think that's all I got, Huey. It was just real quick to go through Webull. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I can probably answer some of the questions if there were any.
Let's see if anybody has questions regarding. Can you show the two types?
Was that Huey?
Somebody actually we did in TOS.
There's some extra noise in the background.
For mine.
Yeah, if nobody's speaking, please just mute your mic, so that we don't get interference, please.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. So maybe it was me.
Yeah, it's good now.
All right, my bad. Baby monitor. So what was the question, or was there a question?
So Jeff asked, can you show the two types of orders? So Jeff, do you mean like ordering from the trade tab and then also ordering from active trader? Is that what you mean? Let's see. He said TFG. So you know what? I think it's worth it as Dot to go through how to quickly place an order and kill an order in Thinkorswim.
Okay.
I know I went through it super quickly, so maybe they just want to, that's like it's probably the most important part of this whole thing.
Yeah. So in the active trader here, if I were to just buy market, it's going to come up here and I'm going to hit send. So right now, it got canceled right away. I'm not in the paper trade like Huey was, but let me see. Yeah, that should have still gone in there. But let me see if it'll do it out of the trade.
I think that's what he meant. I think he was talking about the bracket ordering, the two different orders. So like that the one click and then.
Yeah. So essentially when I'm hitting buy market, so if it's sitting here at $3 trading, when I hit buy market, it's going to buy whatever setup I have in the bracket order. So I have to buy 5 contracts, and with the bracket, I have it to trigger at the market. And then usually, like I said, I have them set up at percentages. So 30%, and my stop loss is usually 50%. So when I buy market, it's going to trigger in at that $3. And then once it gets to $3.90, which is 30%, it's going to automatically sell for me. Now, if it gets down to $150, it's going to sell those 5 contracts for me as well, because that's my stop loss essentially. And that's kind of what I'm doing by setting these brackets. I do most of my day trading when I'm at work. So sometimes I get a phone call and I miss my exits. And as everybody knows, in 2 minutes, you can be from up your 30% to down to your 50% loss. So I kind of do that as a protection for myself. If I'm actually able to watch and I'm at home trading on my own, I don't use the brackets. I turn them off, and I'll just sit there and either flatten, or like Huey was saying about just kind of throwing them up through the actual ladder here, because that's really easy when you have it. Just drag and drop them to your next spot as the price is going up and you're watching the price action.
So somebody said, how do I get the ticker box on the active trader portions? So I think they mean like, how do you get like the contracts into active trader?
So for me, I go to trade, and like, let's go back to the charts. I have all my active traders linked to a certain number color. So I just go to trade, and I then would right click and go to send to, and then I know where mine are in the placing there. And like I said, the purple one's at top. So I would send it to the purple one. And then I go back to charts, and that contract is now there. That one's 75 cents. And when this is moving, when we're in market hours, you'll see that price bouncing all over the place, and you'll be able to kind of gauge your entry based off that. Obviously, I'll have the chart up here too. And like this particular thing, I'm strong on. You'll see I don't have indicators or anything like that. I'm all support, resistance, trend, Fibonacci. And you can see up here, I had the kind of same setup as Huey has too. So if like this were to come down and bounce off my blue line, I'd probably be hitting buy market if it held that blue line, and then sell on the way up. kind of thing. And that's how I use Active Trader.
Yeah, guys, S dot setup is like super duper sniper. Like it's ready to go. You know, he can get in and out very quickly. He can see his charts very quickly. He's watching it on a time frame that works for him. Like he's looking at it on a 3-minute time frame, right? And that works for him.
Yeah, I don't think this has all my time frames on my other computer. I like Huey was saying, his boy has them all stacked through. I have time frames always stacked through here on my other computer. For some reason, they don't update on different apps. And like Huey said, you do all your charting at night or pre-market. In pre-market, I'm picking basically 3 stocks that I plan on scalping based on the pre-market movement. And I'll have the 3 contracts that I want to buy in these active traders already. So when I have my chart set up and I see them come down and hit one of my lines and hold, I'm jumping in. Or if I see it breaking a line and going, I'm in already. So I really only have to watch 3 lines. Normally this one is VIX for me. So I really only even have 4 stocks as a whole that I'm watching. And then I'm watching SPY and VIX. So
nice.
I'm a big proponent of get a handful of stocks to watch, learn them inside and out, and you'll be pulling 30% every day if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I know it's tough to like just maintain that few couple of stocks to watch, you know, when other things are running and other sectors are running. And so like what I do is I'll have like 1 or 2 from each sector and I'll have a watch list of just 2 from each sector and that's it. And you know.
Yeah. And once you get down to charting, like you can chart a whole stock and you don't have to chart it again until it hits new highs. I can pull up my Microsoft chart and it probably still reacts to every line that I put in there. And I haven't touched Microsoft in probably like 4 months. So you see it hits 216, bounces right off, right? This is a big supply zone. See how it just gets right out of it, gets out of it over here. So, I mean, look at this one, comes right down to the 213.31.
Yo, that's that. I wouldn't touch Microsoft with your money, bro.
Dude, that was my money maker in like May and June. And then I got bit too many times. I stay away from it now. But as you can see, my lines still line up pretty good. Yeah, and I haven't touched it in 4 months. So once you learn how to chart, you just have to do a stock once every couple months and you're probably in good shape.
Yeah. Somebody said, I don't have the drop down box directly above buy and sell options. Let's see. Oh, do you mean on the top left corner of the active trader? Is that what you mean? It was, I think, mine or Mine that said that.
I'm not quite sure what they mean.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We can probably jump in on a one-on-one real quick and see what you're talking about. Somebody asked about how to get to OnDemand. So you want to jump into OnDemand real quick?
Yeah, so it's right here. Like I said, I don't use it that much. So if you actually know how to use it, but right here, say I haven't even used it, so it's telling me capabilities. What is it not? There we go. All right, so up here you can pick your date and time. So like we can go run through today even.
I don't think we can do today. I think it does like 2 weeks.
Oh, I see that now. You can do Wednesday, it looks like. Everybody's trading Wednesday.
Let's do Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see if it'll work. My shit is slow.
OnDemand is also very slow.
Yeah. So as you can see, it brought us all the way to Wednesday here. This is Microsoft Wednesday. And then let's start it. We'll go right at open, right?
Yeah.
0900. And go. And you can actually, so it's getting us to there. So here we are at 0900, 0927 really. And it should be, yeah, it's playing just slow. Right. There we go. So I jumped it 10 minutes.
Yep.
To get it moving. Man, this thing's slow.
Yeah, OnDemand pulls a lot of data because this is all written down in like databases on TOS and they're constantly checking it. So if you do OnDemand, you know, don't go to mess around. Go exactly to look for a specific play, a specific time, like know exactly what you're looking for so you're not wasting your time. She said the one on the right. So I think it's active trader on the top where it says buy market, if you're looking at his screen, and then right above that, there's a little text field where you can, that's where you'll type in the contract, or you'll send your contract to that color, and it'll send it over to there.
You can't see exactly. It's not even getting bigger there. But.
Yeah, but that, I mean, I can tell it's DKNG. You can tell what it is right there. DKNG, January 15, 21, 75 call.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get.
David said, "How is your chart so accurate months out?"
Prices react to the same spots all the time. It just kind of how it goes, right?
Yeah, S dot just he spent time looking at Microsoft all the time.
So when I say get a couple stocks and learn them, Microsoft is the stock that I learned. I literally spent 5 days a week for 2 months just charting every line that I thought I saw. And that's really probably why my lines add up so well on Microsoft still.
Yep.
But so we're running now time-wise. You can see the time up here. It's 9:39, 33, 35 seconds, and the stock should be moving. I can't tell if it's moving or not.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Let's see. So David asked, so you start charting on the 4 hour and then go out from there. It's a personal preference. Sometimes I'll look for things on weeklies. I'll look for things on a daily. I look for things on a 2-day, on a 3-day. You just switch around until you see what you see your setup. Like it was.
We like to say it's self-fulfilling prophecies because you kind of make things see how you want it to see.
Yeah.
But it also kind of plays out that way too, for the most part.
Like you won't see a 3-bar on a 5-minute, but you might see it on a 7-minute, and like that 7-minute might give you exact entry that you need, and then you can get out. Like if I don't like the setup, I won't play it. And if I can find it on a time frame and it's there, like it's not me making it up, it's there on a different time frame, right? So that's the importance of like jumping into multiple time frames, because any setup that you're looking at, it happens on every single time frame, all time frames.
Yeah, and it's kind of, some traders call it finding your edge. It's kind of finding what works best for you and how those numbers work with you. My lines tend to work with me this way. So I'm pretty confident in which way the stock breaks up and down from them. And that's my edge. I use the 3-minute to scalp. That's my edge. You might be awesome on the 1-minute. The 1 minute is too much noise and I get too jumpy with my sells and buys. Mm-hmm. So it's all about finding what your edge is in particular.
Yeah, like 1 minute is great for entry, but if you're sitting there watching a 1-minute chart all day, like you don't know whether you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. Like you don't know what's going on, And then, I personally like the 4 hour because of the information. It gives you like peace. Like it's not moving so quickly. You can see we're in a clear uptrend or a clear downtrend. You can see there's about to be a breakout. Once S. Dot said that's one of his favorites, and I was like, oh, this guy's the man, and I feel good now. I'm confirmed that it's a good time frame. And that's why that's the importance of like our community. We're all bouncing ideas off each other and getting paid. Look at my boy learning to fish from Guam. What time is it over there right now, bro? He says, if I set this all up on my laptop, will it automatically sync to the mobile app? Yes, it will. So what I do is I like to chart on my iPad or on my iPhone at night, just real quick. I'll draw support and resistance real quick, and it'll be on my desktop app when I check it in the morning, right? So you don't have to be, it's noon on a Saturday. It's 12:40 on a Saturday, and my man is in Guam, and he's chilling right now with us, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Awesome. That's your reach, Huey.
I
said, that's your reach, man. That's
crazy, bro. Internet will take you around the world, bro. But yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say, if you look at the on-demand, it's actually moving, and you can follow the price pattern right there. It doesn't look like the contracts are updating though, but
yeah. Oh, I see. So Young and Icy was asking about the pivots, the green and red arrow on your chart. Those are pivots.
That's just the stupid algorithm that I keep on my chart.
Yeah.
So
that's a study that he has that he may or may not follow. Basically, it's like I have I think you shared this with me, and I think like it shows potential reversals and potential buy and good entry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. And again, it's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies on different time frames. It tells you different buys and sells. I guess I shouldn't have done that on demand, but I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to throw it up the
Oh.
Jeez. But so that's the cool part. We don't have to get into it, but on Thinkorswim, there are tons of studies and you can play around with seeing what works for you and you find your edge.
Yep.
Those green and red arrows I just use as like a third confirmation. If I'm getting ready to jump in and that green arrow pops up too, I'm like, okay, there's my third confirmation.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to roll. And then Huey, here's a question for you. Do you use the website Use ThinkScript at all?
Bro, oh my God. Amazing.
That's a gem for anybody that wants to do Thinkorswim. It's called usethinkscript.com, and we'll get that in the chat. It has all these different studies that you can go read about what they do and how they might help you, and you can just add them right to your Thinkorswim. And I mean, I can probably pull up.
And it's almost anything that you can think of too. Like somebody's already thought of it and created a study for it.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of cool things that so Young and Icy. So this is how you add it. You go here, you go to add study, and then there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Add study. And then like if I go to all studies, I can probably go, I'm trying to remember. They have weird names when you download them off the internet, but
yeah. I usually rename them and I put like two underscores in front of it, so I just can tell.
That's what I started doing too, but I still don't even remember the setup I have on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, also people can send a link. Like if you were in, I guess it was the Wealth Squad, like last week, I dropped scanners. I dropped the scanner in there for the 20 crossing the 200.
Which is a beast, by the way.
Yeah, and so you could have just copied and pasted that. Hold on.
Pause your OnDemand.
Here we go. I got it. You would go open shared item and you would just paste that link in here, Control V, and then hit preview and then import and it'll come right up. If I had one, I would just do it for you guys.
Yeah. Look, Lamar's in Afghanistan. Salute, bro.
Wow.
That's
Thanks
amazing.
for your service. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. Let's see. Yeah, just like strategies and TradingView. Exactly that. And a lot of the Use ThinkScript studies come from TradingView strategies. And like a lot of people just code them in a way that works for TOS. Rick said,
ThinkScript, I mean, TradingView is kind of limits how many studies you can use. Mm-hmm. Thinkorswim, you can put as many studies as you want up there. And it's pretty much open market on Thinkorswim. If you can get the study, you can pass it on and use it. Anybody can use it. Mm-hmm. They can't lock the studies, unlike TradingView where you can't get in there and save a study that you're not supposed to save.
Yeah. Rick said, do either of you utilize any scans on Thinkorswim, for example, PPS, buy signal, etc.? So that's what S. just mentioned. He uses he uses and he shared a scanner that looks for companies that have the 20 moving average on the daily have crossed over the 200 moving average on the daily. And Jeff asked if you can go to the scanners real quick.
Yep, I can do that. I don't know how kosher this is, or I gotta exit OnDemand. Hold on.
Yeah. So guys, like Mo Money said, don't go OnDemand during market hours because you won't get anything done. It won't do anything until after 4:30.
Yeah, it really kills your overall.
Yeah, it does.
So what I did was I don't know how kosher this was. I had asked what Chris Johnson's rules were since we're on Wealth Squad. I haven't bought his course, but I asked what the rules were. And somebody gave me a quick rundown of what the rules were, and I actually came up with a scanner for that. So you guys can look at it if you want. So what I did, I put in market cap, so you can choose the size of the company essentially. So you're not getting scans for penny stocks. And then right here, it is just the 20 exponential moving average is greater than or equal to the simple moving average, which I set at 200. And then here's the RSI with the 14th length, less than 40. And you can change this however you want. You can change it to 55, 60, 70, whatever you want. Or you can change it to greater than. So you can see if it's overbought, right? And then short it. And then what you essentially have to do is change the time frame that you want to look at, because it changes over the time frame as well. And then in here you can actually edit. So yeah, this shows you I have the exponential moving average with the close price on the 20. So that's a 20 moving average, 20 exponential moving average close price is greater than or equal to the 200 simple moving average close price. And that's kind of what people had given me as Chris's setup. So I said, if you guys came in here, I would share that with you guys as well. And how you would share it is you would go to, I think it's here. Nope. Here. Share scan query. And I can copy this. Control C. And then share. And it also gives me a link here to share it. So any more on the scans? So inside, we'll go inside the scans. You can kind of add anything you want here. You can, it gives you stock stuff. So like I had already gone through market cap, and then you can do based on X size, the back volume, the beta, and all these different things you can add for the stock to narrow down your search. Then you can also, add filter. Anything for options, you can look at options bids, covered returns. Somebody had asked for implied volatility right when Wealth Squad started, and here's how you would do it in Thinkorswim. You would just pick your implied volatility, your open interest, because that's a big thing, right? There's volume on here, I believe. You delta. So you really can do anything scan wise. It's just you being creative and finding again what works for you. That 20 crossing the 200 just popped in my head as the golden cross. I'm like, let's see how it works on the scan. And I back tested it, and it does fairly well. So anything you can think of, you can pretty much come up with. And even patterns, I think you can do, looking for you can look for rectangles, triple tops. Our boy JCat, he loves his triple tops. You can put that in as a pattern that it'll follow. And anytime a triple top comes on in your time frame, you're going to get it on your scan. So.
And then guys, you can create watch lists based on the scan that updates in real time. So you'll have a watch list specifically scanning the market for whatever patterns or whatever parameters that you set here, and it'll show up, and the ticker will show up as it's happening. So like as there's a golden cross, you'll see it show up, right?
You see it right here on my left-hand side. I have my stock watch list, and then this is blank because this is my scanner watch list. So,
yeah. Alma said the arrows 3-line strike. Those arrows are, I believe they're pivots. And then Roosevelt said, can you share the link, I guess, to the scan? I guess he wants to share it in Well Squad. He put an exclamation and a question mark. So he really means that question.
Yeah, I said I would share it in the chat. As soon as I get out of screen share, I'll drop it in there. I'm going to copy it again.
And then T said, are scans also available on Webull?
Yeah, I went over that real fast. They're not nearly as in-depth as, they're called screeners, and the filters that you have aren't nearly as in-depth as you being able to pick a study to look at or your crossovers. So it's kind of more generic. I tried messing with screeners, but like I said, it really, I think the best part of it, it can pull up some patterns. Like it's like bullish engulfing there.
Yeah. Oh, also, real quick, I know a lot of people didn't fill out the survey that I included in the first email for what you guys want to go over the next call, but I just want to give you guys a quick gem. So real quick, go to charts and go to, where is it? Go to patterns.
Where?
On the top right next to studies. Yeah, go to patterns. Go to select patterns. So guys, you can search, you can have Thinkorswim draw the patterns for you right on the chart. So you can have them draw triple tops. You can have them draw rectangles, ascending triangles, channels, up channel and down channels, double bottoms. So for anyone who's interested in getting into technical analysis and how the hell, is this that? Is this a cup and handle? Is this an abandoned baby? Is this whatever? Thinkorswim can draw them for you right on the chart.
And you can actually create them yourself too. So you can design, so like, what's Huey's 3-bar play, right? So then, I don't know why it showed my up candle as red backwards for some reason.
TOS is trying to get you clapped.
Handle, yeah. And then you can change like your low area. Sorry, I'm not great at this, but you can change your condition for it for the close.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get better at this for next time. But you can essentially change this to make this look like a 3-bar play, and then put that in your study, and then every 3-bar play will give you an alert, and you can make it a circle, an arrow, a little wedge. So you can create your own patterns that work for you as well.
And you can set up a scan based on the first 2 bars meeting the criteria of a 3-bar play. And then when there's a potential 3-bar play, it'll show up on your scan watch list. And you can just jump in and see, is it a true 3-bar play? Like, it's amazing, guys. And obviously, you know, people are like, wow, mind blown. Yeah, when I first found this out, I was like, oh, there's no reason to be on Robinhood now. And even Webull, like Webull's super pretty, but it doesn't get as sophisticated as you can with TOS, right? And people have been trading on TOS for a very, very long time. Yeah, I mean, it's really made for you to win, right? And like, we haven't even scratched the surface here. There's so much more that you can do here. And, you know, Webull offers you free shares if you guys like set other people up with it. TOS doesn't have that. You know, TOS is about the money. It's just about like, if you understand how powerful it is, then you'll jump in. You know, Young and Icy said, I'm downloading TOS this weekend. You know, yeah. So Nat asked about setting alerts on your charts for price action. So
Yeah, we could do that. So you can set an alert at any point really by right clicking and create alert. So you can create alert on the price, the Microsoft stock, on the mark, at or above, and you can change this to wherever you want, and then you can put a note on it as well. And then you can also put an alert on any time it crosses your lines. So create alert. I don't know if I got on that or not. Doesn't look like I got on that line, but essentially that's a price line anyway. So I could set the price at or above here or below, depending on what you're trying to chase.
And then if you see down below where it says notify with, you'll get a sound if you're in TOS on desktop, and you'll also get a message, a push message sent to your phone, telling you, hey, this, you know, based on whatever note that you put. So you can say this just crossed that. This is about to do this. Like, jump into the play. Here's your entry. Blah blah blah. And you can get really granular, as you can see with it.
Yeah, you can get a text message if your cell phone's hooked up to it.
Yeah, and even news. Like, look, you can get news alerts. I didn't even know that, and like I was looking for that the other day. That's amazing. Mo said TOS has a web version too, so you can use it on iPads, desktop, laptops of any kind, Chromebooks, Macs. Web version is almost exactly like the desktop. Web is like if the mobile app and the desktop app had a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to trade on the mobile app just because I know what's available for me on the desktop app. I'm spoiled, right? But I have like some of my best friends who trade strictly on TOS mobile, and like they show me the patterns and I confirm them on my desktop, and you know, they get better entries than I do sometimes because they're nice at it. So for anybody who doesn't want to be stuck in front of a computer all day, it's not a bad option for you. Look, Leah said, I thought my phone would be the only one vibrating like a stripper all day because of pattern notification.
No, all day, man. I still get Webull alerts just with my lines on some of the stocks I haven't gone through.
Yeah,
I let them roll there so I know if something's moving.
Do you guys have anything else for S. Dot to take while he has your attention here? If not, then we'll go over to Mo Money so we can give you guys a quick sprinkle of some technicals.
Hey, before I get off, I really appreciate you having me on here, Huey. Thanks a lot.
Yo, bro, I think I speak for everyone when we say that we appreciate you as part of this community. You know, all of the way that you pour into everybody, you know, constantly, you know, you and Mo, the way you guys are constantly just helping everyone and putting us onto game and teaching us new things and showing us, you know, just pouring into us whatever you know. I think that's really crucial. And I know I speak for everyone else when I say that we really are thankful for you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
No doubt, bro. So up next we got Mo Money. He wants to talk about. He's gonna put you on some game real quick. On MACD, and I think he has a special gift for you guys. So Mo, the mic is yours, bro.
Yeah, so I did actually put together a presentation on MACD. Y'all can hear me, right?
Loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. I did put together a presentation. I'm going to try to share my screen here. First time using Zoom, so let's hope I get it right. Hold on.
Guys, if you're finding value on this call today, let me get some threes in the chat. Let's see some threes in the chat.
Beautiful. All them threes is beautiful. Huey, can you make me a host or presenter so I can share my screen, please, sir?
Okay, sorry about that. There you go.
You're good. You're good.
While Mo gets that set up, I just posted that scanner in the chat. So you can click on it and then have open up in Thinkorswim, and it should work for you.
All right. It looks like it doesn't want to show it in presentation mode. Hold on real quick. Let's see if I can get it in there. Okay, that's fine. You're going to see the ugly edges over here and the outline. So the MACD, right? You've heard about it. If you watched Stock Market Gems by Chris Johnson or the Intro to Stocks and Options by Charles Oglesby, they both kind of touch on MACD, but they don't go over it very heavily. They do tell you it's powerful. They're kind of alluding to it is what brought my attention to learn it. I took this MACD from the SPY today. This is actually today's 5-minute MACD from the SPY. So what is the MACD? Quite literally from Investopedia, the MACD is a trend following momentum indicator that shows a relationship between two moving averages of a security's price. The MACD calculation is the fast exponential moving average subtracted from the slow moving average. So I probably wrote that in. It's correct. So what you do is the default settings are 12 for fast and 26 for slow, with the signal being 9. You shouldn't have to enter that in the brokerages. This will work for all intents and purposes. And the screenshots that I took today are based off of the 12.26.9. This information becomes helpful a little bit later in the presentation. Learning to modify these and use those settings is tricky and risky, but extremely powerful. And you guys, I dropped the gem the other day when I was talking about, computers don't talk in 10s, they talk in 8s. Computers work in base 8. And because of that, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, and 1024. All of those numbers should be relatively familiar to anyone that's used a PC within the past 20 years. And those are all base 8 calculations and orders of magnitude. But moving on to the next slide. MACD buy signals. The MACD buy signals are actually defined as 3 things. 2 of them actually correspond with each other, and another kind of front runs that. And I have another slide to talk about that and show you how powerful the front running signal is. But the MACD line on this by default, and I actually took these from Thinkorswim because I want this to look like, if anybody's following these setups that Huey and SDOT are going through, I want everybody to go ahead and be able to set it up and see it with the defaults and marry my presentation to their setup again. And again, you can customize it however you see fit, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to work with this based on defaults. So the first buy signal is when the MACD line breaks through the signal line. And you'll see that here. The MACD is the dark blue line, and it breaks through the signal line. And the second sell signal is the histogram flips positive. And you'll see that these occur in relatively the same tick. They're a tick or two apart sometimes, but almost always same tick, because it'll take a tick or two for the lines to actually break through if the momentum isn't that strong. And so you see that here. The third sell signal, I want to point out, again, that negative histogram changes color. So you see on these histograms here, slightly before this sell signal, this buy signal, excuse me, the histogram to get darker red before it flips over into greens, right? And so you see that you see that there in this darker red, and then it flips. But I want to show you how powerful that front running is. You see that dark red here I've circled, and the price action at that dark red, it's actually at the bottom, okay? And then it rolls up to the top, and you'll see there's a sell signal there where the signal breaks through all the way at the top, and when the histogram flips over there. And again, the colors are changing inside of the histogram there, and these are default. On my own, I actually I've on the platforms I use. I'm on E-Trade. I'm on TradingView also. I'm slowly migrating over to TradingView permanently. That's going to be a slow process. For now, I'm going to chart on TradingView and then trade on E-Trade. But again, all these screenshots are from the default settings inside of thinkorswim. So you're seeing this here. And thinkorswim default gives you the two reds and the two greens. I couldn't actually quickly figure out how to change the histogram colors in thinkorswim. It may not be available in the web. It may only be available in the desktop version. I wasn't able to get that installed. So here we are looking at it, and you see this here at the absolute bottom where those colors started to change, the dark red from light red. And then a couple bars later, you actually see the confirmation for the buy signal. So if you're front running, you can actually get a better entry. Okay. But it's going to take a lot of time studying the MACD and watching it and learning it and living in it to really fully understand when it's not a false signal. And I get into that a little more. So the MACD sell signals are quite literally the exact flip of the buy signals. When the signal line breaks through the MACD, when the histogram flips from positive to negative, and when the positive histogram does a color change. So you'll see I have the histogram flipping and the signal poking through. The signal is that light blue line, and again, the histograms are up there, right? Now, getting into that, check the price action, right? You see all the way at the top is when the histogram actually changed colors, okay? You had the light green, dark green, dark green, dark green, dark green. One more light green because it looks like, and then nope, dark green, and those bars start to shrink, okay? And that's something else that's included. This is a very visual indicator. So when those bars are shrinking on the other side and they've changed color, that's a buy signal, right? And when those bars are shrinking on the top side and they've changed color, that's a sell signal. And you'll see the actual official sell signal didn't actually come in. If you line this up, it didn't come in until 3 to 4 bars after, if you were front running. Okay. So there's multiple different approaches and strategies you can take to using the MACD to build your signals. And again, you can do this very powerfully on your own. I like it. I love it. For scalping, this is my bread and butter in scalping. You guys have heard me talk about RSI. You've heard me talk about CCI, and you've heard me talk about volume. Really, the anchor in that, about 80% of that decision is weighed on MACD. The CCI, RSI, and volume are all kind of supporting characters. So MACD really is my LeBron. I don't really have an AD.
Because he don't even have no email. He always, which is stupid. You have one email that's your forever email, and you have a professional email, and then you got ones that you just make, and it don't really matter if you lose your password.
$5. You think that's worth it?
$5 for 100.
Can you mute your mic, please? Thank you. So getting into the MACD advantages and disadvantages, the advantages of this indicator and oscillator are that it focuses on price, it focuses on momentum, and it's a visual indicator. It's very easy to look at and see exactly where you are in that buying and selling process. And you can actually really quickly screen a stock. You can hop between several different signals, or you can have it up on, you know, SDOT was saying I watch 6 charts at a time. If he has MACD up on 6 charts, he can actually look at the MACD and see exactly where it is in its cycle. The disadvantages, you know, I talked about this a minute ago. Sometimes you get those false signals. And if you look at, let's go back to this slide here. There are several times, especially when these bars aren't very big, when that line is dancing, and see these histograms, okay, are actually a visual representation of the distance between the lines. And it's green, it's above the 0 line, it's positive. When the signal, or excuse me, when the MACD is above the signal, it's negative when the signal is above the MACD. And again, you can confirm that. But the histogram is a measure of the distance between the two. So it's a measure of that momentum. So when it's shrinking, it means it's losing momentum. All right. When it's growing, that means it's gaining momentum. All right. And again, price action and momentum are really, those are the king and queen of the market right now in terms of scalping and swing trades and day trades. Okay.
Was that SPY today?
Yeah, that was SPY today on the 5-minute.
Wow, that was a nasty dump.
Yeah, it was. Thankfully, I was on the put side of that. I caught a put on that. Anyhow, it's the disadvantages again are the false signals and those dancing lines. If you rely on MACD, you can get caught with a dancing line where, you know, your favorite stock to trade, like SPY for me, is just there's no real signal, and so you're not going to get that. And again, the visual indicator, it's really easy to see, easy to use, but it's very difficult to automate. You know, so if you're looking to build an automation, if you're looking to be able to step away from this, or even to, as SDOT showed us, build a screener, it's going to be really, really tough to build a screener that can do everything your eyes can do in a second. You know, so this is the MACD momentum gem. I was talking about how it's powerful if you learn how to modify it. If you go to TradingView, there's a built-in strategy tester that allows you to test just the MACD. And it has some other settings you can tinker with. It allows you to test the MACD settings specifically. But if you go in and you test the default settings of 12, 26, and 9, for the last year, you end up with a loss. If you actually change that to 14, 20, and 8, again, the 14, because we all use RSI 14. Why are we using a different fast on our MACD, right? And you're using the 20 SMA. Why do you want 12 and 26? Why not use 14 and 20? That's your fast and your slow right there. You're already using it on all your charts, right? So why not switch your MACD to marry those?
This might be,
and instead of being in a loss, go ahead.
Be $1 billion gem, bro.
It might be. You know, and instead of being in a loss, that strategy turns a $7,500 profit over a year with a 54% win ratio. Now, I in particular don't like the way that strategy is set up and the way it back tests, just because it uses shorts as well as longs. I don't like to short. Shorting, I personally believe, is too risky, and it absolutely is for new traders. You know, so please, in your trading journey, you know, you're going to see some stuff about shorts. Hold on to that for a year or two. I'm not going to mess with shorts for at least 2 years. I'm going to have $1 million before I start shorting stuff. So that's just my quick go over. You don't really want to change your settings to 14, 20, and 8 until you're really experienced with the 12, 26, and 9. The 12, 26, and 9 is what I'm showing you here. That gives you this front run that shows you the peak, okay? And it shows you here where it shows you this front run. This came on the 12, 26, and 9, not my 14, 20, and 8. So I use the 12, 26, and 9 for the predominance of the time. I don't actually switch over to that unless I'm looking at automating something or I'm looking at like a scanner or a bot or something. But the back test showed 7,500 in profit with a 54.1% win ratio. So it's very, again, like I said, learning how to tweak this for different settings with different other indicators. The MACD is not an all-encompassing oscillator study or indicator. Again, different platforms call them different things, and technically those all mean very specific things. But again, the platforms use those terms generically to encompass everything. So I do also to speak the language that people are going to be seeing in the interfaces. And the last slide is if anyone has any questions. And I'm going to stop sharing.
I know that you guys have questions on MACD because you guys were flooding Mo's DMs to ask about MACD. I have a question about MACD. Is that one of your strongest indicators that you use?
Yeah, it absolutely, the MACD is absolutely 80% of my decision making. It really is my LeBron on the Lakers.
Yeah, a lot of the pros use very few indicators, and a lot of them will use MACD along with RSI. Those are the two most popular indicators that I've seen.
I've seen, we all know RSI, right? RSI is really popular. It tells us, really good information about the strength of the price. And I see that a lot, but to your point on a lot of the pro streams, I see MACD and Stokes, the stochastic RSI that y'all have. Oh, we got people in the waiting room. I just got notifications.
Whoa.
Can I pass you host back? How do I do that?
I'll grab it.
Yeah, you got it back. So I see that MACD on most of the pros. I don't see really a lot of the other stuff I use. CCI is really, I think I'm probably the only person using it on the planet just about. But I love it. I love CCI with RSI. It's really providing some really useful info. But with MACD, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at some professional algorithms, some professional bots that throw up indicators. And I'm telling you right now, they're just using MACD. They figured out how to automate it inside that histogram and run those ratios when the histogram's shrinking to know when that the front run and send the signals at the top and the bottom. That's all they've done is they've done that, and they're charging people thousands of dollars for those signals, and it's really just they just learned how to read the MACD and then automate it into a bot, so it's again, you guys can tell I'm a big fan. I talk about it all the time. Hopefully I've explained in more detail how I use that. I'm going to wrap this up into a PDF, and I'll get that posted into the Rico's chat so that everybody can have that. And if somebody wants to cross-pollinate into the Well Squad, they can feel free. So
yeah, and if you guys have any questions for Mo about MACD or his setup in general, or if you guys have any questions about S.dot setup or anything that he's shared with you or anything that I shared with you, feel free, guys. Now's your time. We're here for you for the next, until there are no more questions. I want to make sure I get everybody. Let's see. And there's still almost 50 people in here. That's really impressive, man. I mean, I'm on the East Coast and it's 10 p.m. I know my girls are probably on the couch sleeping right now. But they're gonna have to wait.
My wife just gave me a look like, you're still up? I'm on the East Coast still. I'm in Philly.
Yeah, it's crazy because we'll be up from like 7:30, 8 a.m. And then trading all through the day, and then now we're here. Now we're here learning and sharpening our knives. Somebody said, where can we view the full recording? I'll send you a link once it's uploaded, so that you can check it out once it's done. And you know, we went through things very quickly so that you can actually spend time, you know, step by step, pausing and making sure you got everything that you needed to get out of it. Somebody said, I'm struggling to get this scan to load. I think S-Dot, maybe you could do like a quick video or something. This is how you load a scan. This is how you share a scan, you know, things like that. Over the weekend or something. I don't know what your plans are, but maybe you can.
Yeah, I'll try to get something up. I can do it real fast too if we really want to just share it and try to knock it out real fast.
I mean, if you want to, yeah. Let me share. Let me give you host.
Do that just real quick.
Yeah, let me give you host. I don't want to bog your weekend down.
No.
So Rick, he's gonna do it real quick for you. Let's see. What are some resources you used in looking up MACD info? That's a Mo Money question.
Yeah, and I was typing the answer out real quick, but I'll do it in voice. I use Investopedia for all of my knowledge. You know, I quoted that source at the beginning, and I mean that basically everything I got in this, I really tried to translate out of Investopedia because I knew how to use it visually. I just learned how to use it. I started on E-Trade. They throw up bull and bear signals, and so I actually learned visually by looking at it. When E-Trade would throw up a bull signal, I would look at what MACD was doing, and I'd look at it a couple candles before, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a bull signal, and this is what it looks like leading into a bull signal. And then I would see the bear signal or the sell signal, and I'd be like, oh, okay, this is the bear signal on MACD, and this is what it looks like leading up to that. So that's really how I learned it, and I didn't even know what I knew. I just looked, saw, and then I did it, right? I tell you guys all the time, I'm a look-see-do learner. And so that's really what I had done with MACD. And I actually had to go educate myself to figure out what the hell I actually knew so that I could verbalize it. Because I was sitting here, I was trying to write the presentation out previously prior to today, and I couldn't actually verbalize it. So I had to go, a lot of this is straight out of Investopedia. I mean, I've rephrased it to make it more consumable for those of us who are new, because I'm new too, you know. So I use that, and then again I use the strategy backtester on TradingView to test it. So
All right, so real quick, if we want to try to load this scan, my screen is shared right now. Go up to the top. You can't see it because my screen is kind of squared out, but the top there's a setup cog. Click that, and then open shared item, and then paste that link that I put in there and hit preview. And then it says scan query. Let's change the name to WS.
Yo, it's not displaying the cogs that you're pressing right now.
Yeah, that's what I said. If it's on your screen, it's next to the cross out. It's just the setup cog.
Yeah,
I have my screen blocked out so my account numbers weren't showing.
Yeah, on your screen you'll see it on the very top. You know, it's the only cog on the top right corner, and then you go to open.
Yeah, and you open shared item, and then paste that link that I put in there. I'm actually going to do it with you and see if I run into the same issue. And then hit preview, and it'll come up. And then, like I said, I'm just going to name it something different. And you can open shared item after I press import too, and then hit import. And I see it opened up in a separate thing, but it still opened up as a scan for me. It just opened in a detached window. And then you would just hit scan, and there she be. Did that work for you?
And S-Dot, what if you're already in the scanner and you want to load it? You're already in the scan tab and you want to load it.
So that's what I was trying to do for him too. So go next to this fire symbol here and hit load scan query. And I think it should have saved. It's in my personal. So let's see if I.
Yeah, I think it'll stay in I think once you.
Yeah, I think it'll go right to the Watchlist personal.
Yep.
And then it should be, yeah, there's WS2. And you just click on that. And now obviously it's up there already for me. So let's let's put something else different in there and then have that one come up. This one probably won't even work.
And these scanners work, you know, if you have it on a daily, then you can check these scanners at any time. So you can, to answer Sed's question, you can look at aftermarket, set some parameters, and jump in and, you know, see what you want to play the next day.
All right, he said it worked, so I think we're in good shape with that one.
Okay.
I'll get off this shared screen here.
Does anybody have any additional questions for these guys? I know these guys, you know, if they're anything like me, then trading is life, but we still have other life that we have to tend to sometimes. So, you know, while you guys have S-Dot and Mo Money on the call, is there anything that you want to chop it up with them about real quick?
Yeah, I got a quick question.
What's up?
So, let's say, because I know I've heard before, like it takes maybe 2 to 3 business days, say, to transfer a Robinhood portfolio over to Thinkorswim. I got like 3 options contracts open now, but I got time on them. One doesn't expire till maybe December 18th, and then the other 2 don't expire till January. But like, let's say like I start the transfer, and within that 2 or 3 business days, like a contract hit my target profit or my stop loss, would I still be able to like trade at all, or is it just those are kind of they're frozen until the transfer's over?
With the contracts that you have that are 12, 18 and January contracts, those are like super short term, and anything can happen to them within the next day or 2 or 3 or 4. So like I personally I would close those out. And then, you know, what I did when I transferred over was like I had the money in my Robinhood and I just withdrew the money into my bank, and then I in the same day I transferred money from my bank into TOS.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth transferring contracts, to be honest.
Yeah,
as a whole.
Agreed.
If you have commons, maybe, but even that, you got to look at the fees. The fees can get pretty steep to transfer commons over. Yeah. Sometimes it might just be better to liquidate depending on where you're sitting.
Yeah, or if you're long term, leave the long terms, and maybe, you know, if you have shares, I know somebody mentioned they have shares. Just leave your shares in Robinhood, and, you know, just use TOS for your options. It's worth it. It's worth it to make the switch. I know that it's tough to have like those like 5 days, you know, 5 no trading days because you're waiting for a transfer, or you're waiting to move money around, or whatever the case is. So then just paper trade for those 5 days. You got to get that fixed. Just paper trade. Just paper trade while the transfer is going down.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for that question, though. Anybody else have a question they want to jump in? Because whatever questions you have, I'm sure others have. Anyone else?
Yeah, and like Huey said too, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to answer questions. You'll catch me on the Discord a lot at night. I work night works, and I mean, I basically will sit there all night and answer whatever questions you need. So
awesome, guys. I think it sounds like there's no questions right now. You guys have us as a resource, obviously, at any time. Someone said, how do you set up those number links within TOS? Oh, so I'll show you real quick. So if I go to share screen, hang on real quick. I'll go to share screen and I'll go to my TOS. Where the hell's my TOS? I don't know where my Thinkorswim is, guys.
what's even about number setup? Oh, the links. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I got you. So boom. Right. So can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So right here where the ticker is, or right here where the contract's name is, there's a little number. You can just click that. If there's no number there, it'll look like this, right? And you just click that, and then you match this to whatever you have on your contract's watch list, right? I have a green 4 here, so I'm gonna go to green 4, and then for my regular actual tickers watch list, I have a yellow 2. So I want to make sure that my yellow 2 here is the same yellow 2 as here, is the same one that I have for my news here, right? And is the same one that I have for my trade tab here. You know, these are things that you want to make sure that are lined up, because there's been times, and S-Dot and Mo, don't laugh, but there's been times where I thought that I was trading an F-Cell contract here, but I'm actually like in an AMD contract while I'm looking at F-Cell, and I'm mad emotional, and I just get in the trade, but it's a totally different ticker and a totally different contract and something, you know. So you guys take your time to set it up, and that's really all of your brain power will be, you know, choosing the contracts prior to market open, and then just like, all right, I'm ready for snap, so I'm going to click snap here, and I'm going to click snap here, and now I'm ready to trade snap. Right?
Yeah, and I think, you know, to your point, these setups, these platforms, E-Trade Power, uh, Thinkorswim, excuse me, E-Trade, Thinkorswim, Webull, Tastyworks, etc. These are very powerful platforms, and you know, when you do these automations like one-click buys and sells, you know, to Huey's point, you got to be, you know, take your time setting them up. Don't be in a hurry. You know, you're going to be able to use this for a very long time and make money from it from a very long time. You know, you hear us all say it. Patience is the number one skill, and so taking your time and taking your patience to set this up and get it perfect for yourself. You know, you don't have to use Huey's setup or my setup or SDOT setup. Figuring out exactly what works for you. Whether it's MACD, whether it's TTM. Again, TTM is it looks like it's the MACD histogram without the lines. Do I have that right?
Yeah, TTM is momentum, and then it shows you like when the thing is in a squeeze.
Okay. So, you know, take your time, rewatch this video as many times as you need to catch all these settings.
Yeah, and guys, like, the market's not going anywhere. The market will outlive all of us. You know, and like, I plan on trading well into my 70s and 80s, and so you know, what's, like I was telling, you know, Alma is gonna take 100 trades before she puts her money up, right? Like, so once she gets through those 100 trades, and she's up 4K, right? Once she gets through those 100 trades, she's probably gonna be a better trader than I am, right? Because she's practiced and she's put in the work, and she wasn't rushing, and she wasn't just making, you know, she wasn't, not only was she like, maybe she was following call outs, but she was seeing what they were doing and why and how, and, you know, and kind of making the correlations, and she was plugged into the matrix, right? There's some days, like, if I make a big, if I win big, then I'll stop trading and I'll go to paper trade for the next couple of days instead of, you know, trying to chase that high. Or if I get clapped really bad, like 2 or 3 days back to back, then I'm going to go to paper trading because I'm not trying to lose any more money. You know, so that's, you guys don't have to be in a rush. Like, there's enough time for everyone to practice and become masters at this. Let's see. Huey, can you just quickly draw some lines and graphs just so I can see how to navigate? So, all right, I have this up here. But if you don't have the, and you know, you'll see how it is. Look, she's up 40K since last Wednesday, and she's just trying not to get clapped, right? So she's doing good, man. I mean, that's amazing. So if I go down, right, and I go to where this, you know, where this lower bar, the lower bar here is where my plus and my minus are, and then right now I have a dollar symbol. By default, I think you'll see this, right? If I want to draw a price level, I go over to price level, boom, and I see that 41.27 is my level. You know, that's the next level that I gotta hit. So I'll just draw it there. If I see that I found support right at this previous resistance here, 44.24, then I know that I can draw one there, right? Let's say I want to draw some trend lines. Hold on. Let's say I see that this is kind of in a, oops, I see that this is kind of in a downward trend. So I can click there. Yeah. And this is terrible, but, you know, click there. And that's pretty much how you do it. You know, if you want to draw boxes, it's just go click and click, and that's it. There's your box. If you want to change the color of the box, you right click it, you go to edit properties, and then boom, you change your color. You know, you just got to spend time in the platform to see what works for you. Like, I use, the ones that I use the most are, remove this. The ones that I use the most are, you know, my pointer and my pen to move around the charts, my trend lines, obviously, price level, obviously. I use fibs pretty often, you know, but you know, SDOT setup might look different. Most setup might look different. your setup, when you guys are all set up and you guys are ready to go, it's going to look different, because whatever works for me is not going to work for you. And that's another thing. I know we mentioned it with the call with Curly K the other day. You can see what other people are using, but like everyone uses MACD. I use TTM. I don't use MACD. I did use MACD at one point, and now I'm using TTM. And TTM I find works well for my setup and for my trading. My ability. Some people are going to see it and be like, I don't like this. This is ugly. It's taking too much space. It's whatever the case is, and they might not like it. I use stochastics. Some people might like plain old RSI. And I wouldn't chase what other people are doing, but definitely try what other people are doing.
And one thing to add to that, Huey, you might look at this stuff and you're like, those colors are ugly, or that just doesn't look right to my eyes. Everything in Thinkorswim is customizable. Colors, numbers that it's looking at, rates, all that is customizable within your study. So like if those stochastic lines are too close to the same color red, you can go in there and change them to the brightest colors that you could possibly want, or your price lines or your trend lines. You can change them and set them as defaults that way. If you look at my fibs look like a rainbow, and that's how I can tell them apart from other stuff.
Right. And mine are just like all one color.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it looks ugly to your eye, you can change that to make it work however you want it to.
Yeah. It's highly customizable. TOS looks way uglier than Webull does, in my opinion, but you can do so much more with TOS, and you can make TOS look nice. Like, this is not my trading setup. I wouldn't dare trade with all of these. This is like, this is wild right here. But yeah, guys, I mean, I look forward to you guys jumping in and hitting us with questions. I'm gonna, for anyone who's checking this video out pretty late or didn't catch the first half or the second half, I'm gonna include all the information on the bottom of the video so you guys can reach out to us. If anybody on the internet is finding this and they're not part of any of our communities, I will link to the Discord, and I will link to our names on Discord specifically so you can reach out to us. If anybody has any questions, my DMs are open. I direct you to S. and Mo Money's DMs.
Yep.
Those guys are super helpful, and they'll, obviously they have other things to do, but they'll get to you when they can, right?
Yep, I always get back.
And
Always open, always.
And anybody who's gonna take the leap of faith on us and jump to TOS or jump to Webull, or even TradingView, thank you, and go to the mirror right after this call and look in the mirror and thank yourself, because you're about to change your life. And that's it, guys. I mean, I don't have anything else for you guys. If you guys had a good, you guys got some good information today, let me get some fours in the chat real quick. Show us some love, guys. Look at all these fours.
I got a bunch of emails that I'll send to you. I had put in the chat for people to send me their emails if they got it from a friend or just from inside the chat.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'll send the recap once it's done, probably at some point this weekend. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. And my DMs are open, so hit me up anytime.
Thanks a lot, Huey.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Yo, S. Mo Money, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for hosting.
I appreciate you guys. Take care, everybody.